What is up, you guys? Good to see you all. 2 minutes to go on the countdown. Whilst we are waiting, don't forget to cast your vote in the tournament poll that is running in the chat right now. Vote for your favourite tournament in season 62. Who do we have in the chat? Getting an early shout out. Frank, Jacob Salter, Cameron Farrow. Good evening. Andrew Martinez is in the house as well. Jason, good to see you as well. MJ, GC Mikey, welcome both of you. Nicole, good to see you as well. Alan Gregg here. Daniela, Bob, welcome Bob. Good to see you. Nate as well. Gidders, Kai, Kilo Sierra, Martin Pendry, good to see you. Jimmy Brown, how you doing? JB, Phil V, good to see you, buddy. Maggie Kennedy, Golf Clash Mom in the house. More about Golf Clash Mom later. Nick Gillard, how you doing? Thank you for the kind words. Good to see you, Colin. KB Chef, what is cooking, sir? Let us know in the chat, please. Tom Bray, good to see you. Gidders, welcome, buddy. Good to see you as well. And Tim Rice, don't forget to hit thumbs up if you're waiting as well. And if you're in any chats with your friends in the game, drop this link in. Get them here to join the discussion, to register their feedback. It's going to be a lot to talk about, as always. Bengo, welcome. Russman, good to see you. Samuel Cabrales, hola, good to see you. Ricky Spanish, Jan as well, good to see you. The poll should be in the chat. Show for me. At the moment, Korean Classic is winning. 20 seconds to go. Scott, welcome as well. Just sneaking in there. GC John K. Russman, member for 33 months. 10 seconds to go. Are we all ready? Plenty of stuff coming up for you. End of season 62 stream. Just a few seconds away. Hello everybody, we are here with the season stream. I'm just going to make sure that I have unmuted Tommy. I have. Good evening, Tommy. How are you doing?
Evening. Good evening. I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Yeah, very, very well, thank you. I think that's the first ever time that I've managed to unmute you in time with all the other stuff that I had to do. Well, here we are. Welcome everybody to the end of season 62 stream. It's been 8 weeks since the last one for reasons which I will come on to later on this evening. Don't forget the all-important thing, hit the thumbs up on the stream as well. Make sure you are subscribed. Now, you've got to be subscribed to take part in live chat, so make sure you've hit that sub button as well. Totally free. As always, coming up, we're going to look back at season 62, which is almost over. We'll be looking at the tournaments. We'll be looking on the game news as well as a couple of polls. You can ask me and Tommy some questions. Share your thoughts and feedback on all things Golf Clash related. We have got loads of stuff to discuss, including 2.49.0, the new update, which is not yet with you all yet, but hopefully won't be too long. So we will come on to the Ball album and all of that stuff later on, so stick around for that. We're going to also look ahead to season 63, a few teasers from me coming your way as well. If you are watching on replay, you can use the timestamps in the video description down below. They will be added straight after the stream. So that's enough from me. Tommy, how are you doing? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm God, I can't get my headphones correct. It really looks like I have a big microphone on my head, like my hair. No, I'm good, thank you. It's been slower week. This one, been away with the kids and been away with the kids. Then we got home and then I did do some 9 Cup stuff, and then we were away again on Friday on a place a little bit more nearby. So it has been a busy week with the kids, but I've loved it. This was the first real week when with their summer breaks that I've been somewhat off to, and that's going to continue throughout July and into August when the kids start school again.
Nice.
So
good,
yeah.
Very nice. Good to hear it. And I hope you're all well in chat as well. Remember, be active in chat. We will be putting some messages up on screen, so make sure you type away. Now, season 62, if you've not voted, there's a poll running And I must say, I'm surprised that Summer Shores is kind of in second place. Maybe there's not many lovers of the 9-hole cups here, but I know not many people
God.
enjoyed the Oasis. But we started with Korean Classic. Now, I thought that was a really fun mixture. Did you like that one?
I did. I really did. I felt after having so many tournaments in a row that has just been, or at least classified as very difficult. Now I understand that some people do enjoy those type of difficult tournaments, but it is something very negative towards when people are practicing a lot and then feel that they don't really get anything for spending that time. On the Korean Classic, the drops were a little bit more simpler. Obviously, then I mean you need to drop more shots to have a chance to win, but it's more fun to play those type of tournaments, and also doesn't take as long time. So no, I enjoyed that one. Then we were back to the shit again with the Oasis. So yeah, no, but I enjoyed that greatly, and it was needed. And I hope we you see. I mean, I like a balance, as I've said before. Like a couple of those type of tournaments, couple of hard ones, kind of like I enjoy if we could have that type of climate. So what did you think about that tournament?
I like the Korean Classic. I think that Namhae Cliff's par 5 is just so great to blast one down to. You know, like even in rookie, you can get pretty close there. You know, there's some holes that really aren't blastable for lower divisions, but like that one is, you know, is to get the top spin out, blast it down there. So that's always a nice one to put in. And then, you know, decent mix from Yongsan Gardens as well, which I think was a nice balance. And then, you know, par 5 hole in one, par 4 hole in one, you know, that par 4 from Yongsan is really nice, actually, the one where you bounce over that, you know, circular shaped bunker. So I think that's quite nice to give people a chance at that. Metropolitan was the par 4s and 5s, wasn't it, that one? Is that enjoyable for you?
I'm more of a par 3 player. I also feel like, you know, like it wasn't a bad one. I can't sit here and say that it was a bad one. I think I said on our Discord channel about that tournament that I do think that the wins selected during that tournament, both the qualifying round and also the final round, was actually very well chosen. I mean, we could have been getting a direct headwind on hole 2, for an example, then that would have been very difficult in all the divisions. And also that's the same with hole 6. Now we did get some headwind on hole 4 and stuff like that, which became tough. But I felt it was as a good thing. And I'm not, I mean, I don't know, I'm conspiracy theory maybe, but you know, we just recently got that P3 precision ball, and boom, we do have a P4 and P5 tournament all of a sudden, and that ball got heavily used. But no, I enjoyed it, but I mean, if I'm gonna be completely egoistic, I'm a par 3 player. Love that. It's that's the most fun things to figure out personally.
Nice. Then we went to Summer Shores, which, I mean, the limited time I was doing some content, it all comes flooding back just how glitchy the Oasis is.
God, I mean, and the new pins didn't really make it easier either. Like, and now we've had those pins before, but only in a 9-hole cup. But no, I think the opening round there, it's also in the end like what wins being that we are given, like which one to take as an example. I mean, back 9 of the opening round in Master, especially, like it's like you start off with a headwind on an already pretty hard par 5, and then I mean slight tailwind, but still not that beneficial on the par 4. Then you have like a headwind on 13. You have it was a headwind on 13, headwind on 15, headwind on what was 17. I mean, it's like it's. I feel like there's such a lack of understanding of that you can't really do that. Now, I know I'm speaking only for Master, but if that happens in Master, it happens in the other divisions as well. Like on a tougher tournament, you need to give a little bit of room for people to have some fun as well, not just have to play the best club and the best ball, or you're going to be in a disadvantage. But no, that was, and you know, like you said, I mean, a tough course and then combine that with glitchy spots, inconsistency. I mean, it can't be worse. Personally, like, it's one thing with a tough course such as Aldridge Park, Waterfield Sounds, and stuff like that, but adding the inconsistency to it, it removes a lot of the fun thing, in my opinion. But
I kind of feel for people, obviously, you know, if you're following a guide, you guys have taken a lot of the stress away and tried to eliminate some glitch rolls, or at least if there is an unavoidable glitch roll on a drive, you've got a backup slide and you can say, okay, if you got the glitch roll, do this.
Yeah.
But if people even themselves are practicing even 2 or 3 times, you've only got to be a whisker off sometimes to get a glitch on a rough bump or whatever, and you're flying. And you know, people are practicing 2 or 3 times that are maybe not going to be experiencing that, or just scrubbing the target around as we would to try and find stuff. So it's very punishing for that, and I think it really shows the difference now between the new courses that are in the game that are, okay, there's still the odd bump, but generally the level of deviation on the terrain is far less, to be honest, and you really notice it there. And Santa Ventura isn't as bad, but again, there's still some bumpy greens on that one as well.
Yeah.
You know, that hole 4 is a bit bumpy there on that par 3 bouncing up, you know.
Yeah, it's almost like when they somewhat remade the old courses, it was like, okay, these ones were so easy that, okay, now we're gonna do our best to make it more difficult. And as we can't really do much else with the course, okay, what can we do? We can make it really bumpy, and that's going to be hard and to dial in. So yeah, no, I mean, I enjoyed the Santa Ventura more than the Oasis, though, I must say. It was that was a little bit more fun. But now the Wiseacre, oh sorry, we are not there yet. But yeah, it was oh, I know I did, it was a mix of feelings this season with the tournaments, that's for sure. Starting off good, fun, you know, ended up a little bit like meh.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, there might be a couple of teasers towards the end about what you've got coming up as well. So look forward to those. If you're in chat, stay around for those as well. 44% voted for Korean classics, so they're kind of on the same page there. So we've got a few questions already. Congrats to those who did well in the tournament as well. I'm reading all the messages, even if I'm not reading them out, I'm seeing them. So thank you very much for that. 2.49.0. So we are going to talk about the Ball album, but first the update, which of course was meant to be Thursday, but is a little bit late. I don't know when it's due. I know a few people have said, you know, is it coming soon? Is it coming soon? My guess, and it is a total guess, is that it's not going to be a long delay. I would think that it would be out in the next few days, but again, it's totally a guess from me. I've got no kind of recent knowledge other than what was in the hub. But, you know, hopefully in the next few days it will be there. Now, don't forget, if you haven't logged into all your accounts, this weekend you get 250 gems, 2 checkpoint tokens, 2 practice tokens. So make sure you claim those as well. You've got to log in, I believe, by the end of today. If somebody can check that for me, because I can't remember what the time was. So yeah, I think from what I gather, that the instability has calmed down. I know there was a few issues there, and I got a load of notifications about that. So hopefully that's going to be settled down, and you know, we'll get into that. So we had some other news first, though, didn't we? Season balls in the Prism chest. Now I know you've got a lot of the season balls already. What do we think in the chat about season balls being discoverable in Prism? Has anybody had them? Let me know. What are your thoughts on that, Tommy? Because, I mean, you've seen a few chats as well, people saying that they're disappointed when there's a bundle with 2 balls, that it's always the season one, that they're never not going to get that in the Prism. So I think there was a few people that enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I definitely do that too. Like, some of the season balls has been absolutely brilliant. Like season 51, for an example, is probably one of the best balls that they have done. And then now you can get that one. So I definitely see that. There is, I do not have all. Like I had fewer than what I thought. Like I still have a couple to say. Usually the older ones, by what it seems. that I don't have. So I mean, personally, like I want to have every balls. I like it. But no, I can see the benefits and the positive things from that. I don't understand. Like, do you know why that was not the case from the beginning? Or like, it's like I just don't understand why that wasn't from the beginning. Yeah, I do you have any insight on that?
I believe it would have been something that they wanted. Of course, this will be way before the ball collection thing. So
Yeah.
I could just imagine it would be something like that they wanted something that was collectible that you could only get at that time. You know, and
Yeah.
obviously, I
Okay.
guess kind of years down the line, and new features kind of develop as well. So we had that with the season balls. We also had the topspin backspin boost glitch fix, which again is not live yet. That will be going out with the update. I know you like that one, didn't you? The kind of ball swap thing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's being done so much, and I mean, all from when it comes to practice that I use. I deliberately not using the backspin and backspin boost balls when using backspin, and topspin boost balls when, if so, using topspin, just because it's just going to make it a mess. And sometimes you forget, and it, like, I remember one time on a part 3 of the Name Cliffs um, where I was playing with setting up with one ball, then I swapped to a backspin boost one ball, and that automatically added a little bit of backspin to that, and I ended up actually presenting that as a creation, not knowing that the spins actually changed. So that was just a complete surprise to me, which in the end was became a little bit weird. But no, I'm glad that's being fixed. It's long overdue because it really makes people, especially those that do use ball swaps and even club swaps and stuff like that, really makes those people not spend those type of balls, just of fear of making a mistake. So
Nice. Going to take a couple of questions from the chat here. James is coming in here. Absolutely. The older courses, greens are a joke. Very difficult to get consistent drops. Much prefer the new ones. They should iron out the greens on old courses as everyone loves a drop. James, it is on my list. Leave it with me. That is all I'm going to say for that one. Question, you can take this one, Tommy. Is the needle speed the same on all clubs of the same type? E.g., do all rough irons have the same needle speed?
no, I mean the clubs has a different needle speed. Like the quickest needle speed is the one in the sand, and then rough. But then it goes back to driver, and then wood, and then long iron, short iron. I mean the difference between the driver to a wedge, for an example, isn't really that big. But if you're timing it, you will notice that, let's say you have 5 seconds left of the clock, you're gonna have the needle swing more times on a driver than you will have on a wedge.
I think
for
heather means
example.
all of one type though. So is like if you had the rough
Yeah, oh,
cutter
sorry.
or the Nirvana or the off roader as rough irons, they're all the same, right?
My apology. Yes, they are the same.
Excellent. There you go. That's that one. What have we got here as well? When you get to the ball prism, does it tell you the ball stats? No, it doesn't. I have fed that back because a few people have asked for that. In the meantime, you can go over to a certain website called golfclashtommy.com/balls and type in
Yeah.
what you've been offered, and
Oh.
it comes up. So there you go.
Yeah, no, that's really great. I mean, there you can search in many different ways to get to know the stats of those balls. But yeah, no, I agree with it's they should have that in game. Like, why should a person have to leave the game? Essentially, they want the people to stay on the game, but now they are somewhat having people to have to leave the game, or making it a little bit more difficult to make a decision. It should be easy, smooth, and stuff. But so yeah, no, I do think that's gonna be coming in the future. I guess it's just not prioritized, as it's not really making money in the same extent as other things. Just a guess, obviously.
Yeah, no, don't forget everybody, we have season 63 previews coming up, and we're going to talk about the Ball album right now. So if you've got any questions, I will do my very, very best to answer them. There's going to be quite a lot here. It is a complicated feature and obviously not live yet, so I understand that you guys here will only have seen the articles, and if you've gone through the tutorial on my channel, then that might help you as well. But there's the graphic there. You can see the kind of prestige things there, the Ball collection albums, the generation pages. If you've not heard anything about this is the brand new feature in the game. Ball collection album will be coming with the new update, where you can basically all the premium balls sorted into generations of up to 20. You collect each one on a page. You can trade in for neutron balls, which we'll be talking about next. And if you've got surplus stock, you can use those as well, and buy chests with a random selection of balls. So you watch the tutorial when you're out and about on your holiday. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. It's honestly a hard question to answer. I don't think I will have a solid thought about it until we have been getting it into the game and been given some time. I do see some positive things with it. Absolutely, I do. I do think, though, if we're looking at that feature overall, and this may sound very negative, I do not like the fact that it's if you're buying a box of balls, that it's completely random. I do not like that at all. I do feel like, to me, it becomes a little bit like you want to have the cookie and eat it too, because I do believe that the idea in itself is a good idea, but I do think they restrict too much. Like, take that example when you are trading in old balls. Let's say I trade in reef balls. Then it's my understanding that those tokens I get, I can't use that on any other generation than where that ball is.
That's it. Yeah, the tokens are for that generation only.
Yeah, exactly. That's a specific thing where I feel like that's. I mean, why not let us then use them on the other generations as well? Because in the end, they want people to press buy on that 10 bucks a pop to have people to buy balls. But I just feel like yeah, and I think I said that to you as well, Ben, and I've said it before. I don't know what it's called, loot creating or whatever. I mean, it's something that has been popping up a lot with EA games lately. But I also, in the end, though, it's like I may sound very negative, but like we are getting the neutron ball, absolutely. But there will be very, very few people that will be able to get a decent chunk of that ball. At least from a start, and then I think the reward for the feature is too little compared to what it will possibly cost for the general player. Let's leave it. I think that's the easiest way for me to explain. But do I love the fact that I can collect all the balls and stuff like that? I do. I mean, I'm a collector myself, but it's like creating an additional addiction. We all know when we are collecting football cards, baseball cards, or whatever it's called, not whatever it's called, but whatever you have collected. You know when you buy that pack, and you know when you're missing some, you know you want to go to the store and buy again. And that type of behavior is something that I feel it becomes closing in a little bit towards gambling. And I feel that when having that in mind, I feel that the reward with that neutron ball in the way we can get it is not enough. But that's again, we haven't got it yet. And I've been negative towards features before it got released, and I've changed my mind after that. But if you ask about my thought today now, that's my honest thought.
I mean, I guess it's like anything. This is going to be the first kind of iteration of it. There may well be developments. I would like to see this, open up some more avenues for different prizes, even if it's a very small amount of prizes, you know, putting some of the older balls in. We've spoken about the golden shot, you know, that might help people kind of boost along. We've got a question here from Finners. Can you trade luminaries? No. Anything that, you know, your Kingmakers, Titans, Quasars, Kingslayers, Berserkers, Loomies are not prestigeable, nor are anything that was branded. So the open ball, the player's ball, sawgrass ball, anything like that is not there. So you can't trade those. But obviously most of them you can, but not anything that is kind of considered branded or free to play. Are there any more questions about the kind of album feature? Because I realise it is quite complicated. And it took me a while, you know, when I'd obviously been reading up about it on the system and seeing the development of it. But even when I got it in the game, I was kind of okay. So that's that. Once you've had a look at it, it does drop into play. You know, you do know what you're doing. But I would like to see some scope for either a generation chest to be stuck at the end of the season pass, for instance, you know, even if it's just a bit like that. There are, of course, definitely in the newer generations, I feel that if there's some bundles that people are definitely not going to buy, but may have put $20 in, you know, in their jam jar in the cupboard for ball bundles, secreted away from their better halves, shall we say, that they might think, okay, well, that was a good generation. Actually, I'll have two generation chests and maybe put it into that as well. It may well also suit people that used to buy balls if they bought enough of them and then are now free to play. Of course, if it's for total free to play players, then I'm not going to be pulling the wool over anybody's eyes that it's not for free to play. You know, definitely not.
But it's also like, Ben, in this instance as well, if we're looking at what is it that people that have been playing a game for a while, what do we have? We do have a lot of old balls that are just not useful in the same extent anymore as it were before. That's why we're sitting, at least I'm sitting with hundreds and hundreds of what I would call shitty balls at the moment. But this, when you then can trade in those balls, it also opens up. It's actually, I think it's smart in the sense of it opens up a scenario where obviously creating another addiction of collecting, that when you then get rid of the old balls, it opens up a situation where, okay, now there's a new ball pack with a ball that I may not be using at all, but I can then trade in that to generation tokens, for an example, in the latest generation and stuff like that. So I do think that's probably going to be the biggest upsale of it all. I don't know how many will buy. I agree with you with the fact that like a generation which had, for me, maybe a lot of precision balls, like that would be an interesting generation to actually buy a chest from. So it's I think it's interesting when you break everything down. But in the end, though, I mean, the EA and Playdemic they are running a business. They are here to make money, and it's what they do, really. No, it's interesting though, but it took a little time to actually understand what's all about.
Question here from Travis. So we will get credit for every ball we've used towards Prestige prior to launch, i.e. for pay balls. Yes, and I think that's really important that that's been done. So it is retroactive. Yeah. So if you have bought, 400 red cardinal balls and used them prior to whenever this goes live, yes, that will count. So anything that's been retroactively used is fine. You will get the credits for those as well. Jonas, it's a good way of rewarding the customers that help keep the game free for everybody. I mean, I've had a few similar comments like that on the video as well. But also, as Kim says, new players to the game are going to be quite far behind. If you just open the the app and you see 20 pages of balls. But I like the nostalgia element. I've been scrolling through and it brings back a lot of memories. I know that's probably not going to be the same for kind of everybody, But it's
But
nice
that's
to look back. It's easier to look back through the ball album than it is the ball sorter, I'll tell you that.
yeah, no, that's probably the use that I see. I will get some neutron balls, absolutely, but I'm covered on in that end with golf balls with those type of stats, so I'm not fussed about that. But just the collection part and seeing what balls you're going and looking back and stuff like that, I think it's really nice. That I actually look forward to way more than a neutron ball, I must say, personally. So.
And if you've not seen it, in the chat there is the neutron ball. It has a nice little, well, I think it's nice. Some people may not think it's nice. A kind of little electrocuting visual effect around it when it's in the adjustment ring. But it's a great ball. There have been some comments about the stats on this, especially drawing a parallel to the Centurion, and I've seen a lot of people saying, we've had the question in chat, apologies, I can't remember who asked it, and maybe a few people did, that will this become the new Centurion ball? I don't have a definitive answer about it. I have already fed back to them that a few people had mentioned that. My instinct would say no, because then why people are not going to buy the chests? However, do I think that there is a happy medium to be drawn between this, for instance, and what we have currently in the C1 for the Centurion? Absolutely. I think, put a bit of precision on it. I think it might be good. Question from Seth Inge. Is Ben reading the chat? Yes, I am. I'm doing my best to keep up. Will that be in the prisms? No. The neutron ball will not be discoverable in prisms. It won't be on sale as a bundle. It's only a reward ball as part of the collection album feature. So that's that one sorted as well. Henry Hall, he likes the neutron ball, makes me want to do the neutron dance. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's something that I've completely missed.
I don't know what
Henry, I'm very interested to find out. You must advise me at some point over Messenger about that one. It sounds absolutely fascinating. So there we go. That is the neutron. Now, important to address here, a lot of the feedback or kind of messages I got were along the lines of, okay, we've all submitted feedback here, and believe me, there were about 900 comments. It took me a full day to go through them. And there's a lot of people saying, look, we've asked for this, and this, and now we've got something that nobody wanted. It is important to remember, and maybe everyone here does realise this or not, but for the avoidance of doubt, this feature was in development ages before I'd even discussed or been asked to get the feedback. So it's not a response to the feedback posts. It's totally separate. And that's not to mean that the feedback was not a waste of time. I've already had meetings about that feedback and gone through it in detail. So I thought actually that would give us the next bit of a talking point. Before we go, I'm just getting the results of the poll. It's a bit of a split here. Do you think you will use the new collection album feature? Yes, 37%. No, 31%. Unsure, 32%. I reckon we're going to repeat that poll in 4 weeks' time.
It's going to be interesting, yeah,
and
to
see where those people that are on the fence are going to go. Are they going to just wait to see? Because, okay, some people may not really have a great sense of what they've got on their account in terms of the generations and where those generations fall. I think from what I remember, it's kind of like 2 or 2.5 seasons per page, but it's in order, it's in chronological order. I saw that question earlier as well. So on to the feedback. Here was the top 15 responses on the YouTube video and also on the Facebook group. Like I said, there was kind of 800 or 900 things. So even by looking at the percentages, okay, we've got a lot on 2% and nothing over 16.2%. But in comparison to the number of comments, it's actually quite a lot. So even though it may not look like a lot, there was a lot of comments, and I was kind of doing a tally, but the percentages were the way to go. So top was removing opponents from practice mode, which we knew was a popular one. Improving tournament rewards, improving the tier system. I've seen a lot of posts about that, to be honest, particularly in expert. I don't know what your thoughts. I mean, we've discussed the tier system a lot before. Do you think there's an increase in people gaming the tier system?
No, I don't think so. Might be some. It was way worse before that. Like, you can't even compare. People that are complaining about the tier system, wanting to, I mean, they they don't remember how it was before. So everything that was done with the tier system has been positive in my opinion. But I'm surprised that we haven't got some sort of tweak to it, because it hasn't really got unnoticed that the tier threes in especially in rookie, pro, and expert may need slight little tweak here and there. But I don't know, and people need to leave master alone with tiers. I'm just saying that again, because it's I guess some people that is saying improved tier system is actually talking about having tier systems in master and getting free golds. So
And don't forget, if you're watching live, want to take part in the chat, all you need to do is hit the sub button. So make sure you do that. I'm just going to take a couple of things here on the back of the poll here. If I can just get this on here. Utah, were you directed by Playdemic to remove cheating and pay for play from the feedback list? No other way, it's not on there. No, I was not. They have no control over what I put on the group. It is totally independent, and I would never, ever remove anything at the request of anybody. You know, the results are what they are. You know, we were asked for feedback, and that is it. I know a couple of other people were surprised that there were not more people mentioning that. It was mentioned, there were a fair few. It didn't make the top 15, nor did the expiration of practice tokens there from Unfrozen Caveman, who says, I'm surprised that the expiry of practice tokens is not on. It's just slightly further down. I mean, kind of after number 15, you've got a lot of things that are very, very very similar in the amount of feedback. So it doesn't mean to say that, you know, that hasn't made the short list. Literally every suggestion was listed, and it's all gone, and it's all has been discussed and will continue to be discussed. So just because something isn't on the top 15, it doesn't mean that, you know, it's not been noted. It absolutely has. So a few nice things here. There was also, in fact, that did surprise me at number 15. A lot of people completing the season pass, wanting either surplus tokens to be converted, which I think is good. That's in at number 10. So, you know, a lot of people using the season pass, because I don't tend to read too much about season pass, really, you know.
No, I mean, Ben, first I need to say the comment that you brought up first about what you put on your group. First and foremost, that comment was absolutely stupid. I mean, I want to respond to that because I know that person that made that comment. It's naive to think that fixing pay for play and cheating is going to be high up on the list, because it's only going to be high up on lists that people that are extremely involved in the game and has somewhat be felt or been cheated off some sort of a high position. Now I would love for that to be higher on the list, but it will never be, because it's not being seen by a lot of people, which sucks. I've been for years working, feeding Playdemic with information, feedback, everything, but I've given up completely, personally. I mean, I all applaud you, Ben, and others that are working on that, but I can't be arsed anymore. So yeah, it's I just wanted to say that too, because we can't be that naive thinking that that's going to be high up on the list on a game that has so many people. So I just wanted to mention that, because I felt that way of expressing a comment or a question from a person that I know is very smart was stupid. So I wanted to mention that. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you very much. That is all very, very much appreciated. So, you know, interesting to see, obviously, how it goes. The final thing to say is, you know, changes do not happen overnight, you know. So even if, you know, 2 episodes of this down the line, stuff's always being worked on. You know, we've got the reduction of time, matchmaking times in practice mode is still being worked on. I was a little disappointed it's not going to be implemented for the next update, but that's not to say it's ruled out. I reckon it'll be the one after that. So hopefully you're not going to be spinning for 40 seconds to practice a hole. You know, it's all in progress. So
anything you can say about the time what they are looking to cut off in terms of the spinning time?
For practice, it should be maximum wait of 10 to 15 seconds is what
that's good.
is the the general idea at the moment. In terms of live play, that is unchanged. I've got to say that it's very important, I think, for people to still have slightly longer spin in live. But practice mode, should be getting down nicely. A few questions here. GC David, do you get a feeling how PD perceives the feedback they seem like list you have as accurate? All of the discussions I've had and the feedback I've given has been wonderfully pleasant. I've always felt a great level of understanding and receptiveness, if that's a word, and a real keen grasp to get the opinions of the people that play the game a lot and the most financially and also as a hobby and enjoyment, the most invested. I've never felt that there's been any, brushing things off as insignificant. It's always listened to really, really well. I hope people kind of listen to that, because there is a lot of work going on in the background as well, of stuff like general improvements and things.
Can I respond to a comment?
Yeah,
then?
yeah.
Is that possible? I'm gonna just scroll up a little bit. I think it's so. Tommy, you versus me in Master is fair. That is why a lot think Master should have tiers. I'm not being rude, being honest. I mean, the highest division you play against the best players. If you do not feel that you compete on the highest division, then you are playing this division below that. And that's me being completely honest about that, because that's how it is in any sort of sport and game. If you play in the highest level, you don't see people we take football as an example, you don't see Crystal Palace go around thinking it's unfair when they're playing against Arsenal and Manchester City probably a poor example. I mean, I cry a lot when I get anchored in my bracket, but doesn't mean it's unfair. He beats the shit out of me most of the time anyway. But no, Monster is the best of the best. And it should be. I mean, it's logic. I understand. I truly understand that people that spend a lot of time on the game, spend a lot of money on the game, feels that they deserve better rewards in the end. I get that totally. But it's not that people that are getting good positions and stuff like that in Master have just been like doing that and then automatically they're winning. They've spent tons and tons of time, and they are rewarded by spending that tons of time by them being a little bit better than others, and then having a tier system that be on the highest tier system on the highest division is basically saying basically giving away some participation trophies, in my opinion. I just wanted to answer that because it comes up and I get so confused that people feel that, okay, yeah, no, I leave it at that.
I mean, I like to win the World Championships at snooker at Sheffield Crucible, but I can't say that I don't want to be, I want to win it without facing Ronnie O'Sullivan. I'm not ever going to be the World Championships, but I'd want to play against the.
Yeah, I try. I mean, yeah, I agree, and I try so hard to not. I'm not trying to be an ass with my comments. Like, I really don't. I just don't. I just honestly don't understand how people can think that. I really don't. I have yet to hear someone. I've been reading so many comments and I try to hold back from answering stuff like that. I've yet to read a single comment that justifies that and stuff like that. It really is. But I mean, in the end, I'm gonna stop playing weekend rounds eventually anyway. So that's gonna be me gone from that. So that's one person less.
Get a header. I've got to have this on the screen. Let's talk the winner's wall. I've lost my hammer and chisel. Get it? I keep clicking. Chat's moving too fast, and I've got loads of comments coming up on the screen now. So, oh goodness me! Right, we got anything else? Don't forget, well, actually, they won't know this, but the next episode of Golf Clash Mom, if you want to know how my mom's getting on, that's going to be on the channel on Wednesday. The Patreons and the YouTube members have had a little sneak peek at that one. So check back on the channel on Wednesday. You can see how she's getting on. She's opened a few prism chests as well, you know. So. Interesting, right? So we've dealt with. I know it's good, it's great, and it does come up, and it's great to keep. And obviously, as I always say, if you've got anything you want to talk about, absolutely go for it. Excellent. Right. So season 63 coming up first, but first, before we do that. While we've got so many people in, and thank you very, very much, 220 odd or something.
Thumbs up, guys.
Now, the reason I couldn't be here 4 weeks ago is I was doing a recording session. So, charity single. I have a charity single out tomorrow, and I'm going to give you some background about it. So, people from the UK will know the lady in the main part of that's the kind of cover of the single. That is Dame Deborah James. She was a journalist and presenter in the UK, previously a deputy head teacher. In 2016, Deborah was diagnosed with incurable bowel cancer. Since her diagnosis, up until a few days before she passed away, she hosted a podcast on BBC Radio called You, Me and the Big C. She wrote a couple of books on cancer. In her final months, she launched a fund called the Bowel Babe Fund, and you can see the logo on there. That raised, before she died, she raised £7 million for the Bowel Babe Fund, and since she died, which was about a year ago, that has gone up to about 4 or 5 million more. Now, it's a year since she died. Her best friend, a singer called Natalie Rushdie, who I've done a lot of arranging for over the years, her parents asked her to record the song, which is Tell Me It's Not True. Deborah asked Natalie to perform it at her funeral, and the parents then decided they would like to get it recorded. It is available for download tomorrow. We recorded at Abbey Road Studios in London, which is one of the most famous studio probably in the world, and just to prove it, there's me, and I'm wearing the t-shirt. These t-shirts, Rebellious Hope, which was Deborah's slogan, supplied by In The Style, and we recorded the song a month ago. It is available for download tomorrow. There's me doing my stuff in that very same t-shirt. I have washed it since then. But it's available for download tomorrow. If you are able to download it, it's only going to be a couple of dollars or something like that. I would dearly love it to do well for the charity. I would dearly love it to get to number 1. If you're not able to download it, then by all means stream it. We're going to put the link on the group tomorrow, so you can have a look on that. And there's all the people that were involved in that as well. It went from a very small project of about 5 musicians to an orchestra of 30, plus engineers. And we had Hayden Bendel produced it, who has done some of the best pop tunes in the last 50 years, and some great musicians as well. So if you are able to download tomorrow, it's going to be available on all streaming platforms. I've made no money on it. The composer has made no money on it. None of the orchestra took any fee. All net proceeds go to the Bowel Babe Fund. If you are able to support that and download the song, I would be massively, massively appreciated.
Nice.
So there we go. That is out tomorrow. So, and it's on the news. It's on BBC Breakfast News at 8:45. And you see me in the music video. They recorded a music video, and I'm in it. So thank you. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Tommy Lofberg's vocal on, but you can't have everything.
Exactly. I mean, I got the question though, and I had to turn down because I had a Golf Flash tournament to cater to. But I do get those type of requests pretty often though, because like when I sing on stream, that kind of that's spreading so much joy, so much love around the world. So I understand that they want to have me in those type of big things, but busy schedule, So, but oh well.
Well, if you are on my Patreon or the YouTube members, you'll be getting a behind-the-scenes vlog of that thing. Finna says play it in the background. I don't have it available. It is on the Bowel Babe Fund Instagram page. It has been, we teased it on Wednesday, and since then it has already had 700,000 views. So I really want to get to number one. So help me out if you can. There we go. Right, season 63. Here comes the graphic. There we go. Bit of an American Diner theme going on there. And of course, with the new season comes some new teas and hole explosions. Let's have a look at them. We've got American Diner, 100% clan points. Oh, we've got a Kingmaker on a bike. There we go. Cruising, that one. I've never watched these until the stream. Statue of Liberty, there we go. That's a nice one. And we got the Liberty Bell, 2 practice tokens there. Surf and turf. Oh, not a fan of surf and turf. I'll have the turf, but not the surf. Freedom Fuse.
I agree.
Here's the teas now. Some tokens for that one. Trophies for Liberty Smash. And we've got the Golf Pass preview coming up as well. I'm going to do the usual thing of, can you remember the ball stats that's in there?
Oh, yeah, I was so off the last time. I need a redo on that for sure.
Eagle Swing. Jacob Salt says, does this hint at City Park this season? No, it's going to be a far better season than that one.
Quiet, quiet.
What's the Unity Lob? What, I don't even know what that is. Somebody needs to tell me what that is. So there you go. There's your teas. Now we're going to have a look at the season pass. Right, here it comes. Right, are you ready for your first ball coming up? There it is. There might be a slight delay. I'm not going to click on it because I want to know how good.
I know that one.
So name and the stats.
Yeah, power 2, side spin 2, win 5. I don't know the OP needle.
There you go. Eagle Ball, power 2, side spin 2, win 5. Correct. So that's one to you. Okay, next one. We're going to scroll. We're scrolling. Okay, number 11. Here's your next one. Go. Name and the stats.
Power 5, side spin 2, win 0, Liberty Ball, I think it's called.
Power 5, side spin 2, win 0, Liberty Ball. Correct. Nate, the Q&A is not over. If you've got any other questions, put them in. We'll come to them after this. We've got one more to go. That's 2. 2 out of 2. Can you go for the hat trick there?
Oh,
there you go. Number 24.
It's coming. Oh, yeah. Power 4, side spin 3, win 5.
And name of the ball?
Is it Outlaw Ball?
435. Is that what you said?
Power 4, side spin 3, win 5.
Yes, correct. OP needle for a bonus point.
Boomsies. Oh, that's a plus. Let's say plus 3. That's my guess.
No, it's plus 1.
Fuck. Oh, sorry.
Oh God, is that just the best part of this show? I really enjoy that. So there you go, and obviously season 30, you've got the king chest. So that's what you got, and well done if you got that in the chat as well. Pixels. If you've not checked out Pixels Creations, goodness me, nobody's asking the important question: why did they move all the signs too far away from the green? So I can't bother.
I haven't seen anything from Pixel lately. It's being a bit lazy, I think, last couple of tournaments.
What are you doing?
Need to step it up, man.
Any more questions, get them in right now. And don't forget, we are 12 away from 100 thumbs up. There's 220 in. Come on, guys. Let's get those thumbs up before we go on to the next tournament. So we've done that. We've done the Golf Pass preview. I'll come out with my little teaser next. Starting tomorrow, here we go. Is the video going to work? Come on. Yes, Wiseacre Ranch 2. Thoughts? Any? Have you had a little play on the new pins?
I haven't been playing as I've been somewhat off, but I have been going around looking for sticky spots, funnels, and stuff like that. It's somewhat played. I feel it's gonna play more or less the same. I don't see anything opens up for a new route, for an example. I don't see that. So I do think that most of the stuff that we already know about Wiseacre can somewhat be reused by some slight slider tweaks and other type of tweaks in terms of play and stuff. Maybe hole 9 might be a hole where it changes the most, I think. But yeah, no, I mean, I like Wisetaker. I did that from when it got released, so I enjoy that. So
yeah, 9 is tucked away, isn't it? Kind of much further right, actually, which kind of is looks a bit horrendous, but actually I had a few goes and it's not too bad. But the rest of them, I think there's still very, very good opportunities really on. In fact, that one that's on the screen now, hole 3, is further left, so I think that's definitely got better blast opportunities, really. You know, but like you said, if you blasted it before, you could still get there. But even more, you know, it's kind of a little less obvious doing the rough bump from the right. Got a slimmer bit of rough, but I think it'd be a good one. Nate had a question, which I'll put up before we finish. I'll ask again. It didn't get seen. I saw it, Nate. I was just too busy babbling on. Is there a possibility of the club card shop working like Prism, where once a club is maxed, it's not seen again? I will absolutely raise that. You're not the first to have asked that as well. I can't obviously promise anything, but very valid, and thank you for raising it here. It has been, of course, duly noted. So for me, I'm looking forward to season 63, purely because, unless things change, and it may change, the final 9-hole cup, I have suggested the modifier.
No. Or yes, man. Depending on what you're saying now. No or
Do
yes.
you think I've picked and it's a new modifier, it's not one that's been in before. Is anybody worried about this one? Is anybody worried?
No, if you have picked it, Ben, I mean, you know the abuse you will get from me in a text message if you're picking a bad one. So no, I think it's a good one.
It's going to be. I think you'll like it. There's some good stuff coming up. I think it's going to be very, very nice season. Don't forget, plenty of stuff on offer. There will be some expert stuff for me tomorrow and through the week. We have, of course, Golf Clash Mom coming up. I will give Tommy the opportunity to talk about his stuff as well. But over on my Patreon, as well as the usual charts, win charts, elevations, exclusive, early access stuff. There is also now the option, if you want to support the channel with a yearly thing. I know you've done this before, Tommy. That is now active over on mine. So if you wanted, you get, I think, 10% off if you want to support the free stuff here on the channel. Then you can do. What's coming up over in your neck of the woods?
For me, like during the tournament week, I will keep myself busy, and I'm going to do on Mondays, like I have been doing for a long time. I will be doing some freehold guides on the YouTube channel on Monday. That will be out. It will be delayed compared to when it's out on Patreon. Obviously, doing the standard guides as per usual. But if you're looking first on free content, I'm doing whole guides on Thursday. Then I'm going to stream both expert and master on Tuesday. And then I will be streaming master on Friday, yes, and then master on Sunday too. That's at least the plans as is. When it comes to, the premium content, we are in full swing with expert and master division directly from start in the morning. We had, way more people to sign up for the free trial than I could ever imagine, actually. So that's... people are now trying out the content for free. And the 9-hole cup was first, and then the 18-hole tournament. And obviously with a free trial, it's free. You get the full experience. You don't have to continue if you don't want to. So you can just use that tournament and say, okay, screw it, I'm not going to do anything more, or and such.
And there's still time for them to sign up for that? Is there still a few days where they can do that?
No. Unfortunately, based on how it works on Patreon, we had to... as it is 7 days free trial, so, and that is from when you signed up, and we decided that we wanted to give out the checkpoint challenge, we wanted to give out the 9-hole cup, and parts of the 18-hole tournament to come as a free thing. And I think that's well enough for people to get themselves an understanding if the guides are something that will help you, that will benefit from it and worth the investment. And then have to make a decision, especially those signing up for the 18-hole tournament free trial stuff, that they have to make a decision before the opening round. So if they want to continue and have the opening and the weekend round content, they will have to pay, and they will get access for 30 days, and then it renews like normal and stuff like that. We will most likely have other trials. It depends on how this one goes, really. We had way more signing up than I thought, but in the end, though, it's all about how many are just using the free trial to get free stuff, and or how many will actually stay for a little while longer. That's because we have never done it before, so I don't really know. But I mean, we again we have found a brilliant structure, and obviously people a little bit off here and there during the summer and stuff like that. But we have a great structure. We have now for every 9-hole cup since June been catering to free-to-play options on every hole in the 9-hole cups, such as the 18-hole tournaments. There is no one that is even remotely close to do that. So I would absolutely recommend for those that do not spend much on the paid balls, or for those that do have paid balls but want to have a cheaper way getting to the weekend round and stuff like that, use the free-to-play options. You can't find that level of content for free-to-play anywhere else. You can't. And you get access to absolutely everything. So it's essentially you get one full free-to-play guide, one full paid ball guide that obviously combined. Then you have also the extra guide. It's the max club guide for those that have max clubs that don't have to mess around with slider and stuff like that. So yeah, nice. There's a lot of stuff. Sorry for talking.
No, that's fine. A quick one off the rumour mill. Jeff's just mentioned it here. I'm going to put this one up because I've seen this a few times. I think they pulled the release of the new feature because there was a question on if it was legal or not. It borders on gambling. Completely untrue, and that's all I can say about that. It's absolutely nothing to do with that. It's referencing the social hub thing about the instabilities. So I'm sure once those are calmed down, then we'll be all systems go, and hopefully not too long. But in terms of that, I know there's the conspiracy theorists and the rumour mill want to speculate on something. It was like the whole Facebook outage about not paying the bills to Meta. A little common sense should prevail here. A little common sense should prevail. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
I don't think EA would ever put themselves in that spot. I think absolutely. They have some control on that, because they are doing the same type of stuff in other games that is same but similar, the same type of thing. So no.
But Jeff, the backspin boost bug is fixed, so you should be rejoicing. I hope you are still going to be rejoicing about that one. And Jeff, thank you. I know you're a very very keen-spirited member of the community. I respect your stuff and your contributions to the feedback post as well. A lot of people loved your contributions, so well done. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will let Tommy go now and get ready for tomorrow. Next stream is Sunday 30th of July. Don't forget, if you want to continue the discussion, get your feedback across, then !group. Hit us up on Facebook, about 13,000 people there. And there's a load of eyes on that one as well. Loads of people looking at that. So thank you very much for your time, Tommy. Greatly appreciated, as always.
I appreciate you having me. It was a nice one. It's nice. I enjoyed this one. I've been looking forward to this one as well. So thank you for having me, Ben. Appreciate everything that you do. And as we have said in many other chats, you do that so much better than what I ever did before. So let's keep it up.
I will do. Don't forget, keep an eye on the update. A couple of quick questions in there. You can scroll back. Hopefully it will be out soon. I don't have a definitive date. Keep your eye on the Golf Clash socials, and hopefully you'll be all playing with your Neutron balls very soon. I'll leave it at that. See you all in 4 weeks, everybody. Thank you so much. And see you soon. Good luck as well. Bye for now.